Welcome to Retech Solution, day 4 Python programming class. This is a continuation class. In this class, we're going to see conditional statements. Before we move on to today's session, first we will see how to get a input from a user. Okay, how to get a value. It may be a string or an integer or list. How to get a input from a value from a user. Okay, input value from a user. Okay, using a inbuilt function. We will see that with an example. Okay, I'm using an online editor, Ripple, and you can use on your own editor. Okay, to get an input from a user, first I'm going to create a variable, okay, n, and I'm going to call an inbuilt function in Python called input. This input function will allow us to get an input from the user. Okay, this way, and I'm going to print the n. Okay, if I run this, you can see we get nothing. If I print hi from Chennai and press enter, you can see that I got the return value. Okay, this way we can get a input from a user. Okay, this is an inbuilt method called input, which helps to get a input from the user. Okay, another thing, it may be a what if in the condition, if I want an integer, okay, the user input should be only integer, not a string. In that case, I can call int here. I'm going to cover the input with the integer int function. Okay, this syntax will allow the user to input only the integer only. Okay, integer format. Okay, you can see I'm printing 1 and 2, and if I print a string, then you see that we got an error because it's not an integer, it has a string here. Okay, it's not an integer, that's why it throws an error. What if I print a number alone? It has been taken. Okay, this way we can get an integer from a user, a pure integer. Okay, what if I want a string alone? Means simply I can change that this function to a string, and I can get the string as an input from the user. But in a string, if I pass a number, it's invalid. Okay, because everything in the string is everything in a quotation, it's called a string. Okay, even if it is a number or even if it is a integer or even it is a string. Okay, everything we quote in between a quotation, it's called a string. Okay, if I type the type of the value, I'm giving a one as input, and the type is a string, and then one is a string here. Okay, this way we can get an input from a user using this inbuilt input function. Okay. Next, we moving on to conditional statement. Now we will see the conditional statements. Okay, conditional statements is nothing but of a passing a condition in a statement and checking if it is a right condition. Okay, make a decision as per the condition given. Okay, the basic conditional statement is if else. Okay, the normal conditional statement is if else. If statement is used for the decision making, it is also called as a decision making. Okay, it will run a particular code if the condition is satisfied, or else if the condition is not satisfied, the else part will run. Okay, if the statement is, if the condition is satisfied, the if block will run, and if the if condition does not satisfy, the else part will be running. Okay, how to check more than two conditions? Okay, first we will see a basic of the if conditions, and then we will move on to the complex one. Okay, I'm going to comment this out. I'm creating a two variable, a to way to the value of 5 and b to value of 6. Okay, sorry, it will be a 10. Okay, first I'm going to create a conditional statement. The syntax of creating a conditional statement is, first you should call the if condition, okay, if statement, if, and this is a syntax of if, and I'm going to pass the condition here. This is going to be the condition. If a is greater than, sorry, if a is smaller than b, and I'm going to end this condition with a colon here, and if I press enter means automatically it give us some indentation. This is called indentation in Python. This indentation tells Python that it is a code block, okay. This is a set of a code block, okay. That's why the Python only identify using a indentation that which belong to which code block, like that, okay. And now I'm going to print my statement here, okay. If this condition statement satisfied, I should print okay. This is a basic syntax of creating a conditional statement in Python using a if alone. What I'm saying is, if a is smaller than b, print this statement, okay. That's what it is. The condition given is a is greater than b, and the print statement is the answer to be executed after the condition is true is this, okay. If I run this code, you see that if the condition is satisfied, automatically this code has been run. What if the condition was not satisfied, okay. If I say a is greater than b means if the condition is not satisfied, and the code block will never run, okay, because if the if statement will run only if the condition is satisfied. In this scenario, the condition is not satisfied, and hence the code block was not able to run, okay. What to do if I want what to do if I want a result even the condition unsatisfied? That's where the else part has been taken part, okay. I can call a else statement here, okay. In else statement we can't pass any conditions, okay. Like if I'm passing a condition over here, in else part I'm not able to, I can't pass any condition here, because else will be a alternate for it's something like a final report to be given if every condition has been failed, okay. Here I am printing b is user, I'm making the condition a is greater than b, but the if condition fails and then the else part has been printed, okay. This way we can create an if else condition. This is a basic program code block to check whether the number is greater or equal, okay. This is a basic syntax of creating a conditional statement, okay. This is a basic conditional statement syntax, okay. The condition to be passed maybe varies, okay. For example, I can check a equal to b and a not equal to b, and a is greater than b, and a is greater than b, and a is greater than or equal to b, or b is greater than or equal to a, like this. These are some conditions that we can pass to check whether to make a these are the conditions used to check this difference between the two variables, okay. We have seen this type of expression in our operators module, okay. Comparison operator, okay. These are the comparison operator used to check whether compare the value and the difference between the two variable, okay. We can use this condition, and also we can use another conditions also, okay. Now I'm going to create a function to check whether the number is an odd or even, okay. This is a simple program to check whether the function is odd or even. For this, I'm going to get the input from the user, okay. It's going to be a num, and it's going to be an integer input, and input I'm calling okay. This line I'm getting an input from the user as an integer. Okay, the input must be an integer. Okay, this is something like an something like a welcome note for the user. Okay, just giving a description about the user, what a user should do. I'm saying that enter your number. Okay, like that. And here I'm going to pass my condition. What is my condition would be? I'm going to check whether the number is an odd or even. For that, if any number divisible by 2 is an even function. Okay, it's an even number. Okay, so that's why I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to call my value num mod. Okay, num mod 2 is equal to 0. If num mod 2, the num mod 2 will give the reminder value. Okay, the reminder value, if num divided by 2 is satisfied, means it will give a reminder as a 0, and the num will be an even number, else the num will be an odd number. Okay, and I can say that okay. I'm going to run this function. Before that, I'm going to explain once again. I'm getting an input from a user with a variable of num. The input will be an integer number, and I'm passing the condition if num mod 2 is equal to 0, and I'm going to print it is an even number, and else it will be an odd number. Okay, I'm going to run this. The Python is asking for an input the number. I'm passing the 10 value. Okay, we got an even number because 10 is an even number. Okay, what if I'm add an odd number like this, 19, and 19 is an odd number. Okay, you can see that the Python gives that this function gives a valid output. Okay, what if I've got a higher number? Okay, for example, I'm going to give interrupt like this, and this is an odd number. Whatever the number may be, it will give the right answer. Okay, this way we can, this is a simple odd or even function to check an odd, the given number is an odd or even using a conditional statement. Okay, okay, this way we can find a conditional statement. Okay, the condition may vary as per your requirements. Okay, we can use also to know the present of the string. Okay, for example, I'm getting a string. Okay, I'm going to create another function, and it's going to be a string input. The value should be in a string format, and okay, my condition would be I'm going to check whether this string number whether this a value has an vowels in it. Okay, vowels is nothing but of a, e, I, o, u. Okay, these are the vowels here. If my string, if my character has an, if my word has a vowel, it will throw it has a vowel, or else it will throw an error. Okay, okay, what I'm going to condition is I'm going to check the condition I'm going to pass to check vowel is I'm going to check whether first I'm going to create a parenthesis here, and I'm going to pass the vowels here. I'm going to pass a if a or sorry if a or e or I or u. Okay, if these values are present in, check, I'm going to check whether these values are present in my string. Okay, I'm going to change the values to text, variable name to text. I'm going to check whether these values are present in my text value. Okay, text that I got from the user. Okay, I'm going to check whether this a, e, I, sorry, I left o, or o. If these values are present in my text, then I'm going to print my text as vowel in it. Okay, text as a vowel. Okay, if there is a no, the character, the given character a, e, I, o, u are not present in my text, then it gonna show me that it has no vowels in it. Okay, 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 I'm going to explain once again here. I'm going to reduce this. Okay, I'm getting a text from a user. The input is a string. Okay, and then if I'm passing this condition, if a or e or I or o or u. Okay, okay, if this condition is present in a text. Okay, these are the statements we have seen in the operators class. Okay, these are the character we have seen in the operators class, whether check the condition is satisfied or that. Okay, if this a, e, I, o, u are present in my text. Okay, the text I got from the user, then print text as a vowel, else the text has no vowel in it. Okay, like that. I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna pass hi from Chennai, like that. Okay, it has I in it and a and I. Okay, it has a three vowels. Okay, and I'm going to enter. Okay, saying that hi from a Chennai as a vowel. Okay, what if I print there is no vowel in it? For example, I'm going to print it simply like this. Okay, it has showing that this text has no vowel in it. Okay, this is now it's a valid Python function to check whether the character has a vowel in it. Okay, okay, this is a simple statement we can use to check whether the character has a conditional statement where to check our condition is satisfied or not. Okay, our next thing will be, what if we have a multiple conditional. Okay, okay, this is next thing will be elif statement. Okay, elif is nothing but of multiple check. Okay, giving a multiple condition in a Python statement. Okay, the syntax of this is if expression and continuing with the elif. Okay, in previous class we have seen that else doesn't carry any condition to it. Okay, elif has an expression. Okay, elifs can carry expression. Okay, elif is similar to if, but the thing is elif is executed after the if statement only. Okay, we can't use an elif as standalone. Elif can be used after the if statement. Okay, we will see this in the practical example. Okay, I'm taking this same problem and I'm going to check which vowel is present in my text. Okay, I'm going to check which vowel is present in my text. Okay, okay, what I'm going to check is I'm going to check whether the a, if a in a text means text as a in it, and the next thing I'm going to pass elif. Okay, in elif I'm going to pass I in text, print Okay, I'm gonna pass multiple condition, okay, to it. Okay, multiple if and elif. Okay, if a, okay, I'm gonna print text u in it. Okay, okay, it is a multiple conditional statement with a multiple if and elif. Okay, we got four different of elif. In each elif I'm checking whether this text has an a in it. Okay, there is a drawback in this code also, we will see when we running it. Okay, I'm gonna run this code and I'm gonna get an input from it. Okay, I'm gonna pass an hi as a keyword, and you can see that the first condition A doesn't satisfy. Okay, then the condition goes to next line and check whether I is in it, I in the text, and that's why I is printed in the text. Okay, this way we can check a multiple condition. Okay, multiple condition and check whether the condition is satisfied or not. Okay, I'm running once again. I'm gonna say like this, and this you can see it has a. Okay, but it also has an I, but the code has doesn't found that I in it. Okay, this is a drawback in this code. To rectify this, we can use a loop in it. Okay, we can combine this code with a loop function to find the valid result. Okay, we can also another example for it. For example, if the condition satisfied, I'm going to continue to the next line. Okay, to check whether the I is in the text. Okay, for that I'm going to use another keyword called continue. Okay, continue is an inbuilt. Okay, sorry, this is not going to be a continue. I'm going to use a pass statement. Okay, pass is a statement nothing but of just passing this code away. Okay, if this condition is satisfied or not, I'm going to pass this to the next line like that. Okay, I'm going to stopping this. I'm going to use hi like this. If I enter and it has been shown. Okay, what if if I don't print anything. Okay, if I leave the code without a statement to it, if the condition is satisfied, it will throw an error to me. Okay, because I should pass a statement to it to check. Okay, after a condition. For this scenario, if I don't want to print any statement for this condition, means I can simply use the pass statement. Okay, now if I print this, okay, this will return nothing but just passes the code. Okay, just passes this condition. Okay, if the condition is satisfied, it will passes the code like that. Okay, this way we can use a pass keyword to pass our statement. Okay, conditional statement. Okay, to pass our condition. Our next problem will be shorthand and if. Okay, what if I create an if else condition within a single line of code. Okay, this is called an shorthand if. Okay, in this scenario I'm taking a two variables with a value of 5 and with a value of 15. Okay, I'm going to check which is greater or which is higher in a single line of a code. Okay, in a single line if statement, I'm calling the if function if keyword, and I'm going to passing my condition. I'm going to check whether A is greater than, or I mean A is smaller than B, and I'm passing this colon here. I'm passing the print here. Print A is A is smaller. Okay, if I run this code, okay, A is smaller has been printed. Okay, this way we can use an if condition with a shorthand. This method is called a shorthand if condition. Okay, and I can also use an else with it. Okay, shorthand else and if and else. Okay, for that, first I'm gonna pass my statement to it. I'm gonna pass whether print A is smaller. I'm going to print the statement A is smaller if A is smaller than B. Else print B is greater. Okay. Okay. I'm changing the condition to whether check like this and saying this. Okay. This way we can check, and this is a valid Python shorthand if and else. Okay, it's a statement with a single line of code. It's checking the condition in a single line. Okay, this is called shorthand if and else. Okay. All right. Before we move on to the problem statement, I'm going to say the next topic is going to be nested if. Okay. As we see in the list in the previous classes, nested list, a list inside of a list, and we can also have a if condition inside an if condition. Okay. For example, okay, our next statement will be a nested if else condition. Okay, with the example, I'm going to take a input from a user as a text. I'm going to take an input from a user. It's going to be a string value. Okay, this text. I'm going to pass my condition first. First, I'm going to check whether the, which statement is. I'm going to check whether I'm going to check the version of the version of the programming language. Okay, I'm going to pass whether the given text has a Python keyword in it. Okay, if the given text has a Python in it, then I'm going to pass to check whether the Python's version. Okay, this is a parent condition. Okay, this is a parent condition. I'm going to nesting another condition into it. Okay, I'm passing another if, not an elif. Okay, I'm passing another if into it. Okay, if 3.7 in text. Okay, then I'm going to print, it's a new one. Okay, else it's bit old. Okay, and this is a statement. Okay, if this condition satisfied, my code block will run to this. Okay, if this condition doesn't satisfy, then I want naturally I want an else statement to throw another condition. Okay, another statement. Okay, for that I'm going to use another elif to check whether the given condition is Java or not. Okay, Java in text, and if it has a Java in it, I'm going to pass another statement inside it. If the Java, if sc, okay, sorry, if is sc6 in text, print as usual, it's new one, else bit old. Okay, we'll see what this program is running, but first I'm getting a text from a user. Okay, it's a string input, and I'm checking whether if the text has a Python in it, and it's going to be a Python version, and I'm gonna check whether it has a 3.7 version or if this matches, and it will throw it's a new one, or else it will throw it's a bit old. If the statement doesn't, if the text doesn't have a Python keyword in it, and it automatically it goes through Java and check whether the condition is the version is SC6. If the condition is SC6, it will throw a new one, or else it will throw a bit old one. Okay, we will check it in the practical example. I'm going to run it, and I'm going to type first Python, okay, 3.7. okay, you see it's a Python, it's a new one. Okay, I'm going to check, I'm going to type it with a Python Java. Okay, once again I'm running it, Python 3.7. okay, code block just entered to this, and this condition has been satisfied, and once again, and hence this condition is satisfied, our next block of the code, this condition has been running, and this condition also satisfied, and that's why the code block has been executed this statement in this. Okay, what if I was in, what if I printed Java in it, Java SC6. Now you can see that this condition is satisfied in this code, and this block has been executed. Okay, what if we printed the both statement like that, Python Java 3.7 SC6. okay, it only shows a Python. Okay, first the statement checks this text. Okay, if the first condition is Python, okay, hence this condition has been satisfied. Okay, this condition has been satisfied, and then it comes to this if statement, and if this condition has been satisfied, and hence it has printed this one, and it ignored the Java and SC6 because these both are printed next to it. Okay, the first condition alone it has been taken. Okay, the next condition has been ignored. Okay, if you check whether what all the text is, you can loop it over. We can use a loop for it to check whether the condition. You will see the loop in our upcoming classes. Okay, this is an example of a nested if else condition. Okay. Now I'm going to use some. We will see some problems with an if else condition to make this session more interesting. Okay. The first problem was find the greatest number of 3. Okay, I'm going to write this function. We will see how to check whether write a program to find the greatest of 3 number. Okay, okay, now problem statement is check whether find the greater of 3 numbers. Okay, I'm going to get a 3 input from a user. From 3 input would be an integer format. I'm going to get the first number. Okay, and it's number m into the second number, and in p. Okay, third number. Okay, maybe I can change this to in number 1, number 2, and num 3. Okay, I'm getting a 3 input from my user, num1, num2, and num3, and I'm going to check whether this find the greater of this number. Okay, first I'm calling the if keyword and passing my condition. My first condition would be if n1, okay, n1 is greater than n2. Okay, if n1 is greater than n2, and if n1 if n1 is greater than n3, okay, if the both condition has been satisfied, means it will throw print Okay, I'm gonna print n1 is greater. Okay, n1 is greater, and I'm gonna pass an elif here. Elif if n mod 2 is greater than n3, sorry, not n mod. Okay, num2 is greater than num3 means it will print. If number 2 is greater than number 3 means it will print n2 is greater, else automatically the num3 will be a greater one. If above condition has not been satisfied, then num3 will be greater. Okay, this is a simple logic to check greater of three numbers. Okay, first I'm checking num1. If num1 with making a statement that number 1 should be greater than number 2 and number 1 should be greater than number 3. Okay, if both the condition has been satisfied means number 1 will be a greater. Okay, if any one of this condition or both of the condition has been failed means then this if statement will be cancelled and our condition passes to the next statement, next line, that is elif. Okay, our code will check whether n2 is greater than or n3. We know that n1 is smaller than we know that n1 is smaller to n2 or n1 will be smaller than n3. Okay, then the competition will be with the n2 and n3. Then our code will check whether n2 is greater than or n3. If n2 is greater means it will print n2 is greater, or else n3 is greater has been printed. Okay, I'm gonna run it. First I'm gonna get a value for 10, 15, and it's going to be a 19. Okay, you see that I given a higher value to the num3 and output is shown as a perfect result as a n3 as a greater number. Okay, this way we can check on three different numbers to check whether which number is greater or not. Okay, our next problem will be write a program to check whether the given number is odd or even. We have done this problem. Okay, write a program to check whether if the person is eligible to vote or not. Okay, this is once again another simple program, conditional program. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable name as age. It's going to be an integer. I'm going to get an input from the user saying that enter your age. Okay, user is going to enter their age and I'm going to check whether if age is greater than or equal to 18. Okay, so 18 is eligible age criteria for putting votes. If the age is greater than or equal to 18, he is allowed to print vote. Okay, he can vote, or else print he can't vote. Okay, I'm running this and I'm checking the vote for me and I'm giving 24 for it, and you can see that I'm eligible to vote. What if I was on below age? I'm going to 11. I'm sorry, I not completed the print statement here. He can't vote. Okay, I'm giving a he can't vote. Okay, this way I can check whether the candidate has a capability to vote or not. Okay, another thing here. Okay, you can see that I'm passing this type of string and I want to do like this. Okay, and this has been throwing me an error because this end starts with a single quotation and here is a single quotation, and Python takes it as a separate string and allow this as an error. Okay, if you want to make like this, we should start with a double quotation here. Okay, I'm going to end this with a double quotation. Anything in between this, okay, this type of explanation, we can use a single quotation. Okay, these quotations must not conflict to each other. If it has been conflicting, means it will throw an error in it. Okay, it will throw an error in our output. Okay, our next program. Okay, okay, this is a program related to find the candidate can vote or not. Okay, I'm getting an input from a user as an age as an input, and I'm checking whether the age is greater than or equal to 18. If he has a greater than 18 value, he can vote. Okay, or else he cannot vote. Okay, this is my program condition block to check whether the candidate has a capability of voting or not. Okay. Okay, this is an example for creating a conditional statement to check whether the candidate has a capability to vote or not. Okay. Okay. Our next program is to write a program to check whether the given number is a positive or a negative or a zero in it. Okay. Okay. We will see this problem to check whether the given number is a positive number or a negative number or a zero number. Okay. I'm going to comment this. Okay. I'm going to getting a integer a number value as an integer input from a user. Okay, I'm going to pass a condition if L is greater than 0. Okay, if L is greater than 0 means it is a positive number. Okay, positive number, it is a positive, it is a positive, and if L is smaller than 0, okay, if it is in below 0 means it is a negative number, it is a negative, it is a negative, or else, okay, or else, okay, or else I'm going to check whether if L is equal to 0, okay, if L is equal to 0 means it is a 0 number. Okay, it is a 0. Okay, in this problem I'm not using an else. Okay, I ended with an elif itself. Okay, we can't end a statement with an elif. Okay, we can end the statement with elif also. Okay, if we don't need an else part, we can end it with an elif also. Okay, in this case I don't need an elif part. Okay, because I'm going to check three condition. I check the three condition with the if and elif also, elif itself. Okay, I don't need I'm not getting any necessary to use an else in it. Okay, I'm going to run this code. I'm going to get the input from the user. I'm going to give 1 as my input, and it is a positive. And once again, I'm going to give a minus 1 as my input, and it is a negative. Okay, I'm going to give a 0 as my input, and it getting a 0. Okay, this way we can check whether the given number is a positive number or a negative number. Okay. 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 And this is nothing but of another problem. Write a program to find a given year is a leap year or a not. Okay, this is a simple problem statement to check whether the number given year is a leap year or not. And I'm giving this as an assignment for you. Try to check it, try to work it on it, and we will discuss this in a next class. Okay, and then today's session has been ended, and thank you for your time, and see you in the next class. Thank you.